Hey Tea Heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In this video, touring a kombucha brewery. In this video, I'm here with Adam from JARR here in East London, and we're going to be touring his commercial kombucha brewery so we can see how kombucha is made on the bigger scale. You ready to show us around,
Yeah,
Adam?
let's do it. We're actually starting to brew right now, so follow me. So as you can see, we're in a big warehouse space. This is called Mix Garage. And actually, it's our kombucha brewery, and on the weekends, it morphs into a nightclub. Crazy story.
Pretty crazy place. If you ever come to London, come check this place out on the weekend.
Yeah, it's wild. So we're just starting to brew right now. What we use are these 1,000-liter stainless steel kettles. And this is where we actually steep our tea. I'll show you one of our tea bags. You might think we might have some futuristic automated system, but in fact, we use these giant 100-liter grain bags. And in here we've got about 1 kilo of tea. We've got 3 of these on the go, and we're gonna do 2 brews right now.
So this is mixed oolong and green already in here?
That's right, yeah, it's all mixed up.
Okay.
And we found that the temperature that suits this best is around 85 degrees for both the green and the oolong tea.
So that is a very giant tea urn, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's how many liters is that?
This is 1,000 liters.
1,000 liters of tea. Now that's a fair amount for you tea heads to get stuck into.
So the way that we do it is initially we'll pump in about 200 to 250 liters of filtered hot water at the right temperature, and then we'll steep our tea in there. We're going to let that sit in there for about 10 to 12 minutes to extract all the flavor and the nutrients from the tea before taking it out and adding our sugar directly into this tank.
So how much sugar goes in there then?
So for this brew, we're doing 1,000 liters. It's going to be 33.9 kilos, which is one of these big bags and this extra sugar here. And that goes in one tank.
They don't use teaspoons. They don't use tablespoons. They use tea paddles, oars. That's how you stir. That's how you stir that much tea. Wow.
This is specifically made for beer brewing, but it works perfectly for kombucha too. Basically, what we're doing is we're steeping our tea, we're adding our sugar, we're stirring that sugar till it's nice and dissolved before topping up the tank with cold filtered water to bring the temperature to below 38 degrees so that it's safe to put our SCOBY into. So all of that happens right here. And then we'll take this tank and we'll forklift it over to our fermentation room where we pump it into the tanks that need feeding.
Let's go see some fermentation. The smell that you get here, kombucha essence. It's like if you wanted to bathe in kombucha, this would be your home, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in here for too long. You'll be on the tube and people will be looking at you like, why does that guy smell like vinegar?
So, this is the fermentation room, right?
Yeah, this is where we ferment the kombucha.
And very important safety note is that they've got carbon dioxide, those filters there.
That sucks out the carbon dioxide in the air, and we also have a meter that checks the
Very important carbon dioxide levels. Adam was saying that one of the most common forms of death in a brewery is people suffocating or people fainting, right? Because of carbon dioxide and ending up falling into the big brew tank. Okay, so let's go, Adam. What happens here then?
So what you guys just saw was us brewing the tea. So that tea is basically going to be pumped into these tanks so that we can start our fermentation cycle. So these have already been filled with the right amount of SCOBY, or also known as starter liquid. And basically when we pump the sweet tea into the tanks, it's going to ferment over the course of 10 to 12 days and leave us with the kombucha that you drink in the bottle.
So you've got the starter liquid. You're not actually putting a SCOBY in, right? Because they've got their own method, which is creating a very bacteria-rich starter liquid. Should we show them how you do that first?
Yeah, we can show this. Yeah. This is the good stuff here. This is the liquid gold. And what we're doing here is we're creating a liquid version of the SCOBY. The way we do that is we use slightly more sugar, and we ferment it just like a standard kombucha, but we design a system in here that oxygenates the kombucha, allowing it to be pumped with oxygen basically consistently over the course of a couple weeks, which promotes the growth of bacteria and prioritizes it over the yeast. And that means that the starter that you use, also known as the SCOBY, is a really potent way to start your first batch. So all of our kind of subsequent tanks are filled with this liquid, and 1,000 liters of this will brew 4,000 liters of finished kombucha.
Right, so 25% starter liquid,
Yes.
right? And the important thing is the oxygenation and the extra sugar just really amps up the sort of potency of that liquid. It's very acidic by the end of it.
Exactly, yeah, very acidic. It tastes like kombucha that you fermented for a couple months rather than a couple weeks. And this is something that we recommend you do at home if you are brewing kombucha, is oxygenating it. Oxygen's a really important part of the fermentation process, and you can do this at home with your brews by getting a spoon in there and stirring it twice a day, every day for about a minute. And getting that oxygen into your brew means that it's going to ferment faster, it's going to taste a lot better.
Okay, so not being frightened of disturbing the SCOBY on the top?
Exactly, yeah, we recommend that you do in fact disturb the SCOBY and get as much oxygen in there as possible.
There you go, pro tip from the kombucha master. Okay, so 25% starter liquid goes in here.
Yes.
Then you've got the sweetened tea.
Yep.
And then you're leaving it with this giant bed sheets.
It's actually a John Lewis bed sheet.
There you go. So you know, whatever works. So and temperature in here?
So temperature in here is about 24 degrees.
24 degrees. Yeah, it's nice and balmy in here. And you're leaving this for how long?
About 10 days to 12 days.
And you're doing the test. You're tasting it. You're doing pH tests, sugar tests, etc.
Different times a year will basically mean the kombucha ferments faster or less quickly, and so it really depends on the ambient temperature, on the specific makeup of the bacteria and yeast, because a tank right here will ferment slightly differently to a tank over here or a tank over there. Kombucha does its own thing, and that's the beauty of the natural fermentation process, that it sort of just ticks along in whatever way it wants, but you provide the framework for it to be a healthy and happy ferment.
I mean, I feel like in here it's just a culture of bacteria and yeast, right? You could do sourdough bread here, right? You
probably
just put some flour and it'll just probably just bloom. We're going to show you a cutaway of this. You can see, very exciting, the SCOBY in there bubbling away. Once it's done, you discard the SCOBY?
Yeah, so once the fermentation process is complete, we'll take that layer off and we actually throw it away. Or actually something we do on the side is we create vegan leather out of it. Yeah, that's right. This is literally made from the cellulose or the SCOBY that grows on top of our kombucha.
So this is vegan SCOBY leather.
Yeah, and what we've done is we've dehydrated it, we've soaked it in glycerin, and we've dyed it. So it's basically waterproof. It's quite a cool, sustainable source of material. If we didn't have a kombucha brewery, maybe we'd be a fashion company.
There you go. Any fashion designers out there, you want to get involved, these are the people to speak to, because you must go through a lot of SCOBYs.
We do, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, so the kombucha's done, the SCOBY's being made into leather. Let's go check out the chilling area and the filtration area. Yeah. Okay, so the finished kombucha is then brought here and put into these tanks, right?
Yeah, these are called bright tanks, and they're used for chilling liquid down, dropping out some of the yeast, and they're also used for carbonating. So what happens is, when our kombucha is finished, it passes all the tests. It has the right amount of total acidity, the right pH, right sugar content, and a qualitative test, meaning that it tastes good. We'll take it down here in the same tanks that we brewed in, and then we'll pump it immediately into a tank like this one here, number 4, and we'll leave it for a couple days to drop out some of the sediment. We will then add our passion fruit juice or our ginger juice into this tank directly. And then from this tank, we're going to pump that through a filter into another tank, into this tank here, for instance. And then we're going to carbonate that liquid. And then from there, we pump it through one more filter into our bottling room, and then we hand bottle.
Okay, so this is about 1.5 degrees?
Yes.
Yeah. So low temperature, and the secondary flavoring is over the course of a few days, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's 3 days or so in here, and then it goes through a filter into this one?
Exactly.
And the filters that they use, you can see some of them here, really, really fine mesh filter to take away any of the passion fruit pulp and sediments, etc. Make a very clean, clear liquid.
Yeah.
but also it will have the effect of removing some of the activity of the kombucha. So it's not pasteurizing, which Adam was saying changes the flavor, right?
Yeah, it can have an adverse effect on flavor if you pasteurize. What we do is we basically filter out the yeast and some of the bacteria, and what that does is it creates a safe, consistent, and stable product. It's really important to us that our kombucha does not become alcoholic. It's always below 0.5%, so that can be enjoyed by children and people that don't consume alcohol.
Another reason why this is low temperature as well, right?
Yeah.
Because if it was high, it would start to develop ethanol.
Exactly.
Right.
And removing the yeast and bacteria has no adverse effect on the antioxidant quality or on the acetic acid that's found in kombucha, which currently are the only two proven benefits of kombucha.
Okay, so from here it's gassed up carbon dioxide, so it's carbonated, and then it goes through to the bottling room. Let's go check it out. Here we go, bottling, nearly there, nearly ready for market, right? Okay, so talk us through the bottling, Adam.
So basically, you just saw the bright tanks where the liquid is carbonated and chilled. So we take the liquid from there, we pump it through the wall here into our two bottling machines, and every single one of those bottles is manually filled by hand with what's called a gravity filler. The bottles are then passed through, and we cap them with this electric capping gun, and then we wipe the bottles down, and we label them tomorrow. But for now, we've got some fresh bottles coming out the line if you want to try one.
Go grab it. Go grab it. I can't resist one freshly made kombucha. I have to say, it's labor intensive, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. But it also is nice because we have kind of a stamp of quality on every single bottle that we produce.
Here we go. JARR Kombucha.
Straight off the line.
Ginger one, right?
Yeah.
Delicious. What I love about JARR Kombucha is the clarity. Right? It tastes very, very clean. The acidity level is that right level. I think, you don't want it to be too sweet. I hate kombuchas which are too sweet. Yeah. I don't like kombuchas which are too yeasty and have that funky note to it. Very clean, very clear, very, very sort of transparent in the flavor. You can taste every single one of the ingredients. Now, as I said before, we are teaming up and we are making some pinnacle May-leaf tea brewed kombucha. You need to check that out if you're ever in London. Come visit our tea house. We've got exciting things planned for that. And I have to say that the JARR Kombucha is the perfect vehicle for it because of this level of detail that they go through to get the flavor to be just on point and that clarity and cleanness in the taste. Okay, so this is all bottled up, then it goes into your cold room.
Well, first what we do is we send it down the line where we basically put our little labels on top, shrink wrap those, put a date sticker on them, and then it goes off.
Lots and lots and lots of work to make this bottle. And what's really, I think, striking is that it is just home brewing, just on a bigger scale. It's just, larger tanks and, more people bed linen instead of muslin gauze. You know what I mean? It's essentially the same thing, which is a great thing to see. It's home brewing, but at a bigger scale. Yeah. Anyway, check out JARR Kombucha. You need to check those guys out. That's it, tea heads. Check out other videos. Taste our teas wherever you are in the world by visiting mayleaf.com and come and check us out if you're ever in London. Other than that, this is Adam from JARR. I'm John from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the good stuff and spread the word because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.
See you guys.